Hey guys, I don't know what I did with well, I haven't showered yet, but my hair looks actually nice. Holy shit. I looked at a picture of myself yesterday and I went, wow, I like that guy. He's actually kind of cute. And I'm like, oh, wait a minute, that's me. Yes. Um, so last night, we're going to go with that. We're going to start somewhere. Uh, I, I, I had the coolest Uber driver. I find really cool Uber drivers. And we started talking, and he's like, and we get near where he's gonna drop me off, and he's like, I just want to thank you. Usually people are like rude or don't want to talk, and he says you've been like this really sweet, nice guy. And I just sat there like, I made somebody's night, and I did it just out of with no like real. That's what I'm looking for. There was no cost to me, but I made somebody happy. I like that. I like that a lot. Even when there's cost to me, if I get somebody else to be okay in the world, I'm happy. You might ask yourself, why? No, well, that's a whole other story. We'll get there someday, maybe. So we get there, and I chug down my monster. So I was wired. On top of being wired like this, I was wired on monster. And my apologies to everybody I bet last night. So I go in, and I get my drink, get going. I forgot my calendar again, so I just gave $25 to charity, I guess, which I'm okay with. Perfectly valid. I did want the calendar though, because it has my bartenders, and potentially they could be in like interesting poses. I have no idea. I will never find out. So, so I go in, I get my drink, and I see these two guys that do this podcast here on, well, they do the podcast off of it, but I follow them on Instagram. And I just, I light up because I love these guys. They're so interesting to talk to. And what's really funny is they, for somehow we have a friendship that's based on maybe 15 minutes of conversation. So I see them, and I'm like, oh my God, I know them. And I wave, and one of the guys lit up, like, oh my God. And it was just really excited to see me. And I'm like, why is he excited to see me? It's just me. You have to recognize I don't recognize how people see me. I just know that I'm me. So he just lights up, and I walk over and says, what's up? You just get really excited. He says, I love talking to you. You're a great guy. And I'm like, who are we talking about? That guy right there? Is that who we're talking about? Just don't comment, please. And I'm working on it. That's one of the many things I have to work on. But it was the level of joy. And then I found out that I thought these two guys were a couple. I don't know why. They were always together. They do a podcast together. In my mind, that would make sense. I got to meet the other gentleman's boyfriend, and then the guy I was talking about first is married. And I'm like, have I ever met your husband? And he says, no. I'm like, oh, I feel that it would be interesting to meet your husband. Like, I'm kind of curious who it is that he connects with on that level. And it's fun for me to picture who somebody would date and then get completely train wrecked in my ideal state of who I think they would see, date, etc. And question why I make the decisions I make with men. We're just going to go with that. So anyway, they were fun to talk to. I've got more. I love you guys.